Hi friends, this is Roger here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And today let us discuss about the topic IGMP snooping. So before discussing IGMP snooping, assume there is a router and the host connected is R1 and this host it is connected directly. So normal scenario, the router will send the membership query every 60 to 120 seconds to the host. So for this group, assume it is sending a membership query. The host is interested in receiving this multicast traffic for this corresponding group. So it will send a membership report. So this is the actual scenario. So now I connected a switch in between the router and the host. So switch, what is the purpose of this switch after configuring the IGMP snooping? So once I enable the IGMP snooping, what happen? It will eavesdrops the IGMP conversation that is happening between the host and the router. So it can be either it can be a join message or it can be leave message. What happen? Based on that information, it will update the MAC address accordingly. So assume this host is interested in receiving the multicast traffic for this group, will send a IGMP membership report to this router. So ESW1, what happens? This CPU will look at the corresponding information. It will update the MAC address. So instead of flooding the frame to all the ports, it will flood the frame only to the interested receivers. So assume there are 10 hosts. Only the 2 hosts is interested in receiving this traffic. So it will send the report to R1, right? So the ESW1, what it does, only to update the MAC address information based on the interested receiver, and it will forward only the frame to the interested receivers. So that is the benefit of IGMP snooping. So now what I'm going to do, let us go to the R1, ESW1 and R2, and I'm going to enable the PIM sparse mode. So that is the benefit of communication between R1, R2 and switch. So let us go to R1, go to the configuration mode, interface, faster than at 1/0. Let us enable the PIM sparse mode, right? I enabled it. Similar way, this switch I configured VLAN 1. 1.2 is IP, this is a 1.1. So let us go to switch 1, go to the configuration mode, interface VLAN 1, IP PIM sparse mode, right? So this is the thing I configured. So now let us show run interface VLAN 1. So this is the thing I configure. I have enabled the PIM sparse mode. So now let us see the snooping feature. How to check? Show IP IGMP snooping. So if it is not enabled, you can globally enable like this. Go to the configuration mode, IP IGMP snooping. So this is a way. Then you have to do IP IGMP snooping VLAN 1. So this is the way we can configure we can enable the IGMP snooping feature. So now it is already enabled. So now what we have to do, we have to go to R2. Let us enable the PIM protocol in R2 also. Go to R2, go to the configuration mode, interface faster than at 1/0, IP PIM sparse mode. So I also enable the PIM protocol on R1, ESW1 and R2. That is R2 is nothing but a host. I configured as a host. Also I enable the IP IGMP snooping feature on ESW1, right? So these are the basic things we have configured. So there is no protocol is mandatory because all lies in the same subnet 1.1, 1.2 and 1.3. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some group. Say this group in this R2. So host is interested in receiving the multicast group. So I'm going to add this group to this corresponding interface. Immediately it will send a membership report stating their interest. So what happened after R1 receives the membership report, even the switch will looks at the corresponding report. It will update the MAC address accordingly, and it will forward only the information to this corresponding receiver, right? So that is the benefit of IGMP snooping. So let us go to R2, go to the configuration mode, interface faster than at 1/0. So let us that before that, let us enable the debug IP PIM and debug IP IGMP. Similar way, let us enable on switch. So debug IP IGMP snooping, right? So debug IP IGMP. Similar way, let us go to R2, debug IP IGMP and debug IP PIM. So these are the protocols I debug for the messages to flow. So now what I'm going to do, let us go to R2. R2 I configured as host. Go to the configuration mode, interface faster than at 1/0, IP IGMP, join group 239.1.1. So immediately it will send a membership report. You are able to see, right? It is sending a V2 report. So by default, the IGMP version is V2. So that's the reason it is sending a report from this corresponding host 1.3 to 239.1.1. Similar way, you can see R1 also received the report from 1.3 239.1.1. So it is adding also in the multicast table, right? So now what it does, even the switch, since we enable the IGMP snooping feature, the switch also will record the same information. Based on that information, it will update the MAC address accordingly. So go to ESW1, show IP IGMP groups. So you can see here it's already added, right? 239.1.1 is already added in this group because it already eavesdrops an IGMP conversation that is happening between the host and the router, right? So it sends a membership report stating their interest in receiving this traffic. Then switch already update the MAC address accordingly. So now what I'm going to do, so now let us go to R2, then let us remove the traffic. Let us go to R2, go to the configuration mode, interface faster than let us remove it accordingly. So after removing this, what happened? It will send a leave message. So whatever thing, if it is a membership report or if it is not interested in receiving the traffic, it will send a leave group message to R1. So at the even the leave group message, the switch will monitor it and the switch will update the MAC address accordingly. So the switch will remove the corresponding port or MAC address from the table, MAC address table. So let us see, go to ESW1. So the thing is that based on the information, based on the conversation, whether it is a join report or a leave report, based on that information, the switch will update the MAC address table. So now let us see show IP IGMP groups. So now it is removed from the group, right? Because it already updated the MAC address. So it's also received the report leave group message. So accordingly, it will update the MAC address table. So this is the benefit of IGMP snooping. So the IGMP snooping eavesdrops or hears the conversation that is happening between router and the host. So it can be either the membership report if the host is interested in receiving the traffic for that group, that membership report also the switch will look at the report according to update the MAC address. And even if it is a leave group message also, the switch will look at the report, it will remove the port. So this is how the IGMP snooping works. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Thank you.